Hey guys, welcome to an episode on how to make a thumbnail using Krita. This was requested by Dewubs. Go check him out in the description below. He just got a computer so he can stream, record, all that stuff on computer now, and he was asking me how to make a thumbnail using Krita. Krita is a free software that you can purchase if you want to help out the developers of the software. So go check it out. I'll put a link in the description for the website if you want to check it out. Krita is one of my favorite softwares to use. So first things first, you gotta open up Krita. You gotta make sure it's full screen or not full screen. It's that thing on the window. It's like this. It's on your shit. Like anything ever. I'm very tired. Click new file. Width 1920, height 1080, resolution I like 300 ppi. Make sure you got pixels. Pixels like that for each of these. Make sure it's clicked on this for horizontal layout or landscape layout. You can save it as a preset right here. So you save as, you just type thumbnail or whatever you want. I have it set under 1920 x 1080. And so yeah, click create. And there you go. You use the mouse scroll wheel to zoom in and out. Basic stuff. Hold the space bar to change your hand into a hand, and then you click, and that's how you drag the entire canvas around. So like if you draw a line like this, actually let's get a black color in here. And you have to press and hold space to move it. That's how you move the stuff around. So you can zoom in and go wee. Control Z is it gets rid of your last known thing. So if you make a line and then you make another line and you make a line like this, press Control Z and it gets rid of your last thing that you've just done. Okie dokie. Now, to make a thumbnail for YouTube videos, 1920 by 1080 is the basic thumbnail size for stuff. You go to Google Images or wherever you want to get your images. And I'm going to be making a Subnautica thumbnail for me, Bean, and Bubbles. Not for them to use, but I'm going to have like their inspirations and such inside of it, because we're all going to be playing Subnautica co-op. So you're just going to type Subnautica or the name of the game that you want. Make sure you type it right because, stuff. And you just scroll through and find a picture you think is pretty neat. Like this one right here. This one's pretty neat. Look at that. That's cool. I like that. And it's already 1920 by 1080. Let's go ahead and save image as. And I consider this type of stuff scenery, so you would go to your, I'm going to go to my scenery folder and just save it in there as a JPEG image. It's got to be JPEG. And then open up a folder. Go to that folder you just saved the thing in. Then find it. Right there. Alright, now go back to Krita. Go back that folder. Click and hold that picture and drag it over here. Insert as new layer. And there you go. You've inserted it over here on the right as a new layer. These are your layers, by the way. I probably should have mentioned, but I just wasn't thinking. These are your layers. You layer stuff such so that you can put like a layer over it like that. So you can draw stuff like wee, and then if you're like, yeah, I want to put this over, you can just put it over. That's what you do. Whoops. Press Control Z too many times. Alright. And then this right here is opacity. This changes the transparency of whatever layer you're clicked on. So like, usually you want that to be on 100%. And now we want to put stuff over it, such as the pictures of everyone's logos. So you would go to, you would try and find your logo, like your YouTube logo and such. Bubbles, just click and drag, insert new layer, boom. We want, who's next? Bean, we want Bean, so let's grab his little guy here, insert new layer. And then we want my logo, which is right here, insert new layer. And as you can see over here on the right, your layers, it shows a little picture of the stuff. So yeah, it also says the name of the file. So you would just, yeah, that's how you would do stuff. And just, oh, this tool right here, the rectangular selection tool. This you're going to be using a lot if you're going to be making thumbnails and such. You're going to click that, and it's a selection tool. All these things with the dotted line shapes are selection tools. They're tools that allow you to select pictures more easily, such as the rectangular thing lets you make square shapes that are really good for square pictures and such as the logos here. Or you can get this elliptical selection tool, which makes a circle basically, or any circle shape. This right here is a polygonal selection tool. It lets you create lines. You start off by clicking once wherever, and then you can do this to make your selection. And this is super useful if you're going to be doing detailed selection. Like if you're going to be selecting just this doggy that is HuskyPup Gaming's logo. If you just want to select the doggy, you would use this polygonal selection tool to just outline the dog, basically. And then at the very end, you go to the first point right here, and a little circle pops up, and that's telling you if you want to end the selection. You would click that, and see, and then yeah. All right. Now, when you've selected the thing you want to select, press Control T, and that means Control Transform. The Control T is the shortcut to change it into a moving piece. So now you can just click on the picture anywhere, really, and that lets you move the piece anywhere you want. All right. Now this little thing right in the middle right here, this is the rotate thingy. It's like a rotate rotate anchor, sorry. Where you can click on this and you can move it around the place, but generally just keep it in the middle of your selection, because that right there is where it lets you rotate. That's where the rotate anchor is. So to rotate, after you press Control T, you just move your mouse out, and as you can see, your mouse turns into a little circle with arrows, and then you just click, and then you can rotate it. See, easy peasy. Now, if you want to rotate it in a specific area, like if you're doing animation or something, and you just want it to be specific, that's where you would grab the anchor right here. And you would just click and drag and move it like right here in the corner, and then you would rotate it. See, and that's a rotate anchor point basically. Okay, and I just use Control Z right there. So I don't know. I guess I want to be in the back right here, and I want to rotate it like this, and it's a bit big, so what you want to do is you want to grab a corner and move it. But as you can see, it squishes and squashes it. And you don't want that. You want it to keep the same size as you're trying to make it smaller. So how to do that is you just press Shift. Okay? So when you press and hold Shift, it all the sides, the length and width stay the same while you're squishing it to make it smaller. Okay, so Shift and click on the corner makes it stay the same size. And I think even right here, yeah, even right here, as long as you're holding shift, it makes it go a perfect change, whatever the fuck. So I want it to be about yay big. Put it over here in the corner more, rotate a little bit. Making the thumbnail is all about your own creative thoughts. And now we want to change the location of Bean's photo right here. So what we want to do is go over here and click on the click on the layer. There we go, of Bean's thing. Yeah, if you want to change something, you have to be on that thing's layer, or else you won't be changing anything from it. You have to be on the layer. It's a bit big, so I want to squish it, make it smaller. Do a little rotate. Maybe rotate it like this way. Control. Okay. And time for Bubbles' logo. Grab the selection tool, click and drag, Control T, Shift click the corner, make it smaller, and then just click on anywhere outside of the selection to make it go like this. Maybe squish it a bit more, go about right there. Control All. Control All is Control A. Control A or Control All is basically selecting everything in the canvas. Alright? That's what Control A is just Control All. Just remember that. Control A means Control All. Alright, now let's look at it and use our brains. What would make this look good? I tend to like a good frame around on my thumbnails. I think framing the thumbnail looks just really good. And I usually I have this right here. It's a transparent photo frame. That might look good because brown and blue I personally think looks good. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use that. Insert a new layer, and as you can see, it's fucking huge. It's just fucking huge. So what you would do is you zoom out, grab your selection tool, and just try and grab all of the picture frame that you think, and then press Control T for transform. And as you can see, that's right there. So let's click and drag and make this smaller so we can work with it better. Alright, let's grab the transform tool real quick. Just make our selection tool smaller. Control T. Now, to change the formation of this, just click on these little squares right here. And yeah, without holding shift. Because if you held shift while doing this, this is what would happen. You're doing this and you press shift and yeah, this is what would happen. But you don't want that. Okay, boop. Boop. Boop boop boop. Alright, Control All, and it saves and it tries to work it in. And as you can see, the my logo, SpiredSix Gaming logo, and the Bean logo are in front of the frame. That's because those two are above the frame, the brown transparent frame, on the layer list here. So how to take care of that is just click and drag the frame and just move it above the photos as such. And there you go. And it's a bit wonky, so I'm gonna go ahead and press Control T for transform and click. Sometimes you have to click in it for some reason. And I'm gonna try and adjust the picture frame a bit more. Control A. There we go. That looks better. All right. Now we got a little Subnautica name title here that's telling us the name. It's probably a bit small to be seen like on a phone or something, like, because you're gonna see it on the YouTube page like from far away, like about this size maybe. Now, you just gotta think what would look good in a thumbnail. Like, this is pretty good. If I was having a lazy day, I'd be like, all right, this is good enough, and I'd just throw it on. Because this has got all my things that I worry about is, the YouTube logos, a frame, and the scenery picture. Those are the three main things I worry about. Scenery, logo, frame. But sometimes I want to go special and just be like, oh. So what would look good? I think maybe. I think if I can find, this one right here, a floating shaded head. Insert a new layer. All right. Click and drag with the selection tool. Control T. Rotate. Shift click. Make it smaller. Actually, I kind of like that. It's like a head of the submarine. I like that. It's like, ugh, fucking ew, fucking gross. All right. So, real quick, some more tips. If you use the elliptical tool and go onto the layer you want to mess with, let's say for some reason I want this whole thing right here just get deleted. So I would use the elliptical tool and just make a line and use the outline of it. And I'm not even gonna bother doing this shit because I'm just teaching. But this is how you would outline, and you would connect it with the little circle right there. And if you wanted to delete that, you would press delete on your keyboard, and that just deletes it. That frame gets deleted. Now, whatever is behind that layer, like on this very first layer right here, if you draw, I don't know, fucking dick and balls right there, and then bring that layer back, the dick and balls will show up on that layer. In fact, you can move stuff still, because I'm on the first layer. And I just use Control Z for undo. Control All to get all of it. And these little eyeballs next to the layers, these little eyeballs are the seeing or the on-off buttons, basically. Like I can turn them on and off, so I can see other things much better. See, on off, on off, on off, or the frame, or bubbles on off, on off, bean on off, on off. That one on off, on off. The frame on off, on off. It's basically hiding the layer. It's hiding the layer so you can see other stuff. On off, on off, on off. This little button right here, the box with the plus in it, if you click it, it adds a new layer. And it just adds a new layer. You can draw on it. Whee! You could do stuff with it. I don't know what to say. Okay, now if you want to just outright remove a layer, like this layer we just made, right click it and remove layer. There you go. So that's pretty much how you make a thumbnail. You can click and drag these to move them up and down or behind and in front of other layers to make it look better. Like if you wanted Bubbles, let's say, to be in front of Bean, you click and drag his layer and put it in front of Bean. Now it's in front of Bean. And I kind of like it like that, so I'm just going to keep it like that because it looks really good. Alright. And if you wanted to mirror a layer or something in here, like if I wanted this head, let's say I wanted this head to point the other direction, then you would just click on it, Control T, Control T, and you would right click on it when you have it in the Control T form. And as you can see, mirror horizontal or mirror vertical you can do, or rotate it 90 degrees and such. And look what you can do all this. Mirror horizontal, it would just do that. It just mirrors it. And vertical. There you go. Whee! So you can do that. And okay. So remember, the 3 big things that I like to do: scenery, logos, and frame. The other shit like this head is just fucking like special farts, special stuff. Okay, now don't forget to save your file, because it's always great. It's always perfect to have a file that's saved of your thumbnail in case you want to grab assets that you made for it for another thumbnail or something else. It's always great. So you would save as, and you would save it as blah blah blah, whatever the name of the game or whatever you want to name the name as that, and you would save it as a Krita document and you hit save. And usually I have straight up a Krita saves folder, as you can see with all these Krita saves I have of just thumbnails and such. Now once you have it saved and you're happy with it, you like how it's going. Actually, I should save this. I wasn't thinking. I totally gotta save this. Krita saves name. I usually name it the name Subnautica, and then thumbnail. Tab it, save, and then it's saving it, and then it's done. Now you hit File, Export right here. Export dot dot dot. File export. You click that, and you go to your thumbnail folder, which mine's right here. And it's Subnautica. I want that to be a capital S because I'm a quack. Subnautica thumbnail, and we're in the thumbnails folder. And then you would change the save as type bar. You would change it from Krita document to either PNG or JPEG. I do JPEG because I just like JPEG. PNG lets you save files with transparency. JPEG doesn't allow that, but since I don't have any transparency, like background transparency stuff going on, you don't need to do that. So it's just JPEG for me. You would click save, and then you would make sure equality is 100%. Transparent pixel fill color, just be white or whatever color you want. Usually it should just be white. You click OK, and then it's exporting it, and it's done. Now you go to your pictures and your thumbnail, and you just kind of do a little quick check, make sure it's there. Subnautica was the first letter, so we're going to S's. There it is. This is my old one, and here's the one we just made right here. All right. So that's how you would make a thumbnail. In some cases, you wanna type your words out. So for that, you would just go to your T right here, T for text up in the top here. It's right there, yeah. And then you click and drag to make a small box, and you would let go. And sometimes the program doesn't. Usually it doesn't do this, and it just crashed. There's been a new update for Krita that it does seem that it crashes on the text tool. Oh boy. Well, let's just open it back up then. Krita. Do. Okay. So recent documents, you can open up your recent documents from right here, which is the one we just did is right here, or you can just click open file from right here and find the file that you saved it as. Usually it should be in your Krita saves, which is where I have mine. Rahal. Alright, so like I was saying, grab the T, click and drag, and then let go, and then this window pops up. And you can click and drag the window wherever the hell you want. You control all in this box right here, and delete that random text, and type what you want to type, like Bubbles is a bar of soap. And then control A to capture it all. And then you can change the size of it with this button right here. This is how you change the size text. You can change it to bold or whatever in this, or you can do it here for bold. You can make it change the little script thing to be in the middle, which I usually do. It's useful being in the middle. This is where you can change the font of the text. Like, let's do Cyberpunk Civilian. That looks cool. And right here is where you can change the color of the text. So we're going to change it to a nice red. And then you're going to hit save. And that saves it and puts it on here. And then you go ahead and just click close on that. And then you can click in the box and move it around. Like, we can put it right there, and we can control T, I think. Yeah, and then we can get out of the thing and rotate it just a bit so it matches up with the submarine thing. Control A for control all. Bubbles is a bar of soap. Boom. Alright. And that's how you do text. And as you can see, it opens up a vector layer. That vector layer is your text layer. So if you want something to be in front of it, you would just move it below whatever you wanted on the layer list here. And this right here is your color wheel. This is how you change your colors if you're going to be drawing or painting or coloring or whatever. Excuse me. Excuse me. Alright, so real quick, let's go through the tool sets. This is your select shapes tool. That's basically, I have no idea. This is your text tool. That's how you make words. That's your edit shapes. You're not going to be using that too much. Calligraphy, you're not going to be using that too much. This is your brush tool. B for brush. That's how you get into your brush if you're going to be brushing or coloring or drawing. You're going to be using the brush tool here. And if you click on that brush tool here and you go to the far right and click brush presets, that's how you can change your brush tip. Usually, I draw on this brush preset right here, the marker, because it just looks nice to me. But if you're going to be sketching or something, you're going to be using something like this charcoal pencil or something, or just just charcoal pencil. I think those look really nice for sketching. Or you can do these any of these brush tips if you're going to be drawing anything. A line tool, that's super useful. If you want to make just straight lines like that, you can just do that. And if you want to change the size of that or your brush tip tool, you would come up to here and you would change it to this. Like if you want a big old fat line, you would do 200 or something and boom! But if you want a nice small line, just something small like that, boom. If you want a straight line, like you know how you can do, this isn't a straight line. If you want something that goes in one of 8 directions, up, right, right, right down, or down, left, or left up, whatever the hell, you would hold shift. And as you can see, there's even more than just 8. But it goes in a straight line. Like you can do straight horizontal to help with framing or whatever. Straight up, like that. Like, boom. It's really, really useful. Like, it really is useful. Or you could do the rectangle tool, which makes rectangle lines. Circle, makes circle lines, or elliptical lines. If you want to make a straight circle, you have to hold shift, and that makes a perfect circle. You got this thing with a polygon tool, which you can do. You just do weird shapes like that, just like the polygon selection tool. And polygon, I haven't used any of these other ones. This right here, color selector tool. That's going to be painting and such. You can click that, and you can look for a specific color in your thumbnail. Be like, I want this red. Boom. And it automatically selects that color red on your color selector. which is super useful. This is I don't know what that is. I haven't used it. A fill tool. It fills stuff. Like I think if we do this, yeah. Actually, we're on a vector layer sheet. You'd be like boom, and it fills whatever color you just selected as the color you had on your selector tool. But it has to be straight color, straight perfect balance of color. It can't be shaded or anything if you want the entire thing to be that. These, I don't know what these are. I don't use them. Again, these are the rectangular selection tools. These are what you use to select your stuff. This is a selection tool. It selects stuff of the same color. Like if you click this, it's gonna select this hair color, or if you select this boat, wherever you clicked, it's gonna select that same color that is touching itself. It's super useful in photography editing. And this is right here is your pan tool or your hand tool. The quick button is just hold spacebar. See, just hold spacebar. So hopefully that helped. I probably went off on a lot of tangents, so I'm sorry. But Control T for transform, as you can see. Use your selection tool to select a place, then press Control T, and then click in that box. But you cannot transform as something that's empty, apparently. And Control Z for undo. Control A for all. And that should be good enough, I think. Alright, thanks for watching. Sorry I went off so many tangents, and I certainly hope this was useful. I'm very tired. I'm going to be going to bed now. Thanks for watching. Good night.